Hey everybody, welcome back to Car Meet Garage. My name is Don. I'm here with my buddy Kyle and his beautiful 63 Nova. We're here to ask him a couple of questions because it is the winter time and everybody's kind of bored and all of our cars are put away because we're in Michigan. So let's start off with you and how you kind of got your start into this, I guess, lifestyle. I won't call it a hobby because this kind of money, it's not a hobby anymore, it's a lifestyle.
It's a broke style, I think.
Broke style, a ramen noodle and...
yeah, and then hot dog water every week, you know. But I'm doing it as long as I can, walk. My dad, and as soon as I had a driver's license, meeting all you guys, me and you, we're the OGs.
That's
we go back early 2000s, street racing and realizing what 250 horse was to now making over 3,000 horse.
All right. Some of my best memories are with you and your dad.
Oh,
with Q-Tip. So
I tell you what, the memories we got is just outstanding. From the Midland Street days, trying to find a fast car to race, to watching my brother blow up a car, racing somebody on a crotch. I mean, the memories go back far with the amount of things we've been through. Even with cars, life, family, starting families, jobs, friends, losing friends.
Yeah.
It's been a long process. I mean, you're looking at 20 years. Just the friendships.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Holy crap. I remember when we first met you, you're a skinny little pole.
Yeah, it's still am. Just a big, tall, skinnier pole.
Well, you'll have that. You'll definitely have that. And it's, I know your dad was a huge car guy, and like I said, some of my best memories are with your dad.
Oh yeah.
Because I know before you had I was a 67. I
had a 67
Nova, the booger car.
Yep,
the booger car.
The anal eater car.
The anal eater, there we go. But yeah, so, we all kind of have that start, and we can kind of jump right into this.
A conglomeration of setups, and used to be a big nitrous car. You eat so many pistons and valves up, and you're hard on certain parts with a nitrous motor. You couldn't lean on something and make it reliable. Anything when you're making this amount of horsepower, it isn't reliable ever. And I thought when I went to a Pro Charger, it'd be better reliable, but decides now, you're harder on transmission, third members. I mean, you just move the problem around. You're never really fixing a problem making this much horsepower. Right, the problem attaches itself to the motor with a belt. That was that one's kind of there. Yeah, right. This is kind of the big problem. Everything else is kind of not figured out.
I think the last time I was here and you were doing some work for a friend, because we are actually in the home of bad news right now. Yep. And as you can see probably in the video, if it comes out in HD, there's bad news stickers everywhere. And Kyle does do a lot of help for a lot of people in the area as far as machining and stuff like that.
Yep, machining, fabricating, welding, setting up stuff, chassis and stuff like that. Basically, if somebody needs help type of thing. I kind of pick and choose it, no offense. But I'm not a cobble job type of guy, if you want a $10, and fix this, so,
go somewhere else.
Yeah, no offense like that. But, I like doing nicer work, a little bit higher end stuff. And, I have me and a buddy that we like to work together. And he's even outstanding fabricator, welder. And we do a lot together. And we've knocked out some... But we stay humble. We don't show it off. People see it, but then they find out who does it, and then, we made it here, did it here.
Right. That's a lot of stuff on this is made.
Everything here has been made inside of here. Everything, all these mounts, we bought all blanks from Steve Morris, and then he kind of was like, "Why are you buying blanks?" Well, I have a machine shop at my house, and everything you see here, front to back, we have machine welded, fabbed. It's done here. Everything. A lot of one-off pieces that nobody else's cars has, just to make it easier, I guess, to work on. Right. Because basically that's held together by wing nuts. It comes apart real fast because you always blow it up.
Well, when you get to this kind of level, you break a lot more stuff. Because with more power comes great responsibility. This is Uncle Ben's speech.
yeah, I've heard it, but I think it just kind of goes out the window at that point. With this kind of responsibility, either
you just have the wallet at it.
Yeah, it isn't a wallet anymore. The bank's money now. Right. Whatever you want to call it.
So what else? Because I'm obviously in the camera, because I keep turning my knee and I keep blocking it. There's the giant inlet of the Pro Charger, and this is which Pro Charger?
This is an F3R 136. They do make one, well now, since, they come out with 140, and I think they got a 144 out or something like that, a new F4 series. But
when you got this one, this was the unit.
Yeah, when I got this one, initially set the car up a little over 3 years ago, this was the biggest, baddest that they had at the time for, you know, make 3,500 horse and 50 plus pounds of boost. And this was,
you got it when it first came out.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, this is before Daddy Dave thought he was cool with a 63 Nova. And
I wasn't going to say it.
Yeah, I know you were. Yeah, this is my 63 Nova. I owned this about a year before he bought his. Yep. And I had it over a year and a half before he went Pro Charger. So, I mean, he can look up to me all he wants. I'll let him take the credit for it.
So we'll see if Dave Comstock's watching this.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
But so what else we got going on in here?
This is Billy Briggs big block. It's a big cubic inch big block, more than your average Pro Charger motor, but it's got an M&M turbo 400 transmission in it, Neil Chance built bolt together converter, all controlled by a Holley Dominator with a Pro 600 ignition system on it. We put it on Dynocom's hub dyno, and it makes just under 3,000 of the hubs with keeping some parts together.
Right, because you posted the video and it was like everything in that dyno room was just coming apart.
Yeah. It was
pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was. I tell you what, I've never, you know, it's different behind the steering wheel of the car, you know, one thing, but when you're standing 5 feet in front of a Pro Charger, making that amount of horsepower with the methanol and this thing screaming, it was a different adrenaline rush.
You hide behind the wall.
Exactly. I'm hoping to God it stays together every pull.
Right, like the wall's going to stop you any more than your firewall.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So what's in it for a transmission?
It's got an M&M. It's a, you know, top of line badass Pro Mod style transmission. It's got a big inch 3/16 input. Neil Chance built bolt together converter in it. Not a lockup, you know, nothing like that. That's out of my pay area, but you know, it's got carbon fiber drive shaft in it. It's got a McCamus rear end in it. You know, it's got some very nice parts, you know.
Right, all steel, all glass.
Yep, this car I run it in all steel, all glass category. It's got a removable front clip on it. It's got steel fenders and stuff. Steel factory 63 Nova doors on it, roll up windows. It's got full interior in it, full carpet, you know. Yeah, people can argue it, but it's got all working lights, turn signals, everything on it. You know, I drive it down to Myers with wide open zoomies. You know, I've done it before.
It's got a plate.
It's got a plate. It's tag, title, insured.
Right.
So,
what more do you want out of a street car?
More than 5 gallons, because they'll burn that up in 660 feet.
Well, you know, you'll have that on the big jobs.
Yeah, it's just nothing I can control. Yeah, it's got 16 700-pound injectors in it, so it is feeding a lot of fuel to it when it's wide open throttle.
Right. And so anything future for the car? Like, this is it? I know you always going bigger, better, faster. I know you.
Right now, we are changing, remodifying some stuff on the front suspension to keep it more consistent. The problem is the car hasn't been reliable. It's more of a 60-foot burnout car. But when it makes a hit, you know, when it makes a hit, it's getting down. You know what I mean? It's getting real busy with it, you know.
Right.
But, you know, I've started tuning the ar in the last year myself, went to school, started tuning. Started doing everything more myself.
Sure, because you went to the Holley school.
Yep,
right?
I went to Holley in Kentucky there.
Yeah.
Did all that, and you just trying to get a handle on something like this, you know, trying to learn on 3,000 horse for your first tuning experience. This year I blew the Pro Charger up. I blew the crank off of it. Yep. You know, I lifted a couple cylinder heads on it. And
so I remember coming over here a while ago, and that was a little free spinning.
You know, I might have made an oops on tuning. Oops. You know, these kind of motors, you know, you got a window to operate between.
It's really little.
And it's really little. You miss it by a half a degree on timing. You ramp it out too far, too short, or, you know, you got too much fuel coming in, or you move the trans brake 200 RPM. Well, it loaded up and it overworked the motor and it broke the whole Pro Charger drive out of it and everything else. It wasn't happy because it wants to go.
Right. Yeah, it's an absolutely incredible car because you've had it for, oh my God,
9.5 years now.
Oh my God, that just aged us, didn't it?
Yeah, 9.5 years I've had this one, and 67 I had before that. I had that for, geez, almost 7 years before that. Yeah. I took a little break, but.
So you're back with this thing.
Yep. I got this one, and then I got a car I'm working on with me and my daughter, you know.
Oh, the G-body.
Yep, I got a little 79 Malibu.
Yeah, the Malibu, yeah.
Yep, we got a lot of nice parts going on that this winter.
So that's when you bring out to the car meets.
Yep, I brought that out a few times. I did one of the cruises with it.
Yeah.
All original. It looks tough as hell sitting there, you know, when something's sent on aftermarket brakes instead of weld wheels, you know, and stuff like that, and on a Pro 275 radial on the back. And it looks like it's making, you know, 1,500 horse sitting there, but it makes about 109 horse to the tire right now, realistically.
Right, because you got multiple cars. We could talk about multiple cars.
Yeah.
That's not, we don't have to talk about just this because it's weird. I know because the G-Body, it's a big deal because you're doing it with Charlie.
Yeah, it's going to be a father, something I can go out, beat the heck out of, float the valves in it, whatever the case may be, do a burnout in a church parking lot and beat feet home, and she can be in the back seat laughing, and be like, I did this stuff with my dad.
Small block stuff.
It's going to be a small block, but it's going to be a big horsepower small block in it. But it's going to be, it's going to be fun stuff, and then if, funding this all the time isn't realistic most of the time. It's, you go to the track, it's $5,000 before you even pull in.
Right, because you're a blue collar guy. Like 99% of the people that are around us, you're not making millions of dollars.
No, I'm about 950,000 short of that. So, I do everything myself. I kind of learned it, and then when I don't, I do have the friends I surround myself with. I am very fortunate. I'd say they're probably the top of the top in the industry. You know what I mean? They got huge names out there, but they all started, like I'm proud, like this car's never been to some big multi-million-dollar chassis shop or engine, you know what I mean? It's been built in cars, in garages that people were starting out doing the same thing I'm doing right now.
Right.
Hey, this is, like Greg Powery. He started off as a guy that, learning all of his own stuff. He tuned this car. He still helps me out and we're best friends. But the guy, he's one of the best out there in the world of tuning, building, setup. He's, in my eyes, everybody else has got their own opinions, but the guy with a reputation like that, you can't knock him. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and it's like in almost everything on this car, it was built in here. And this is a garage. Like this is like not like everybody has, but I mean a lot of us, like I've got a garage. Greg's got a garage. Everybody. That's why we're doing these. Is we're in the garage and you're seeing the stuff that can get turned out of a garage like this.
Yep.
So I mean, not everybody has a mill or a lathe and stuff like that, but in the group circle, someone's got one generally.
Usually, and then also the biggest thing is learning. Right. You don't learn or you don't do something until you get. Hey, you push yourself, and I got to do this. Hey, I got to make something happen. And you got to get imagination. You got to hang out with some dumb friends because you know what. The dumb friends got the best imaginations.
Right, and that's the biggest thing about building a car, too, is imagination. You got to have imagination to make it your own and do it.
Make it work. Make it do what it's got to do.
Right, because there's that threshold. And if you don't have imagination, you're going to be stuck at that threshold. You got to have imagination to get past that threshold, and that's what this is. This
is years of imagination and hacking things together, kind of, and it kind of turned out decent.
Yeah, you're hacking together and my hacking together are two completely separate things.
I use less zip ties, all right? And I don't use double-sided tape.
Well, dang it, that's where I'm at. But so what are the future plans for the G-Body? I know it ain't in here, but
the G-Body, like right now I got a rear end ready to go in it, and I got a 4L80 Rosler for it going in it. The powertrain plant, the motor is still gonna be a small block. I wasn't doing Gen 5 L8T setup in it with a single turbo, and it depends on the money situation, how much is coming in and going out, but that was the original platform with it. But I thought about maybe going back to an all aluminum Gen 1 conventional style 400-inch small block and putting, I got a turbo for it already, a Gen 2 Pro Mod 98 precision for it. So my goal is whatever it's going to be behind that turbo, it's going to be making at least 1,500 horse to the wheel. Is it going to stay together for how long? I don't know, but I just want to do some 80-mile-an-hour rolling burnouts with it for a while. Just enjoy it. And
daughter like that.
That's all.
Right. Not with her in the car doing 80 miles an hour burnouts, but obviously.
Go and get some ice cream, and it was kind of an embarrassment with a car that looks like that. We went to Frankenmuth, first time ever. Being able to car to cruise. Everybody says, do a burnout, do it. Do this, do that, and you're sitting in the car going, I can't even rev it up, I can't even hear it run, I can't even do a burnout. It was kind of embarrassing. So my goal next year is just do burnouts with it. So have fun with it.
We have a platform for that, right?
Yeah, I seen that. I don't know if I could do that, but a little squeaker here and there, I don't think it would be a bad thing for it.
Right. Has Charlie been in this thing yet?
Yep, Charlie's been in this. That's my daughter. She's been in staging lanes.
Sorry, I should establish that because.
Yep.
Right.
She's been in staging lanes with me. She was my I call it my debt collector because she was there for a couple grudge races for Dad, and we came victorious. We got lucky, and we came out on top for some money, and to see that thousand, getting handed her just holding it there and looking around like what the hell, But that's probably one of the. It was never about winning. It was just the fact that my daughter was there.
It's memories, man.
And just hey, look back in the picture, of her holding a wad of money, and
Right. Now we've been kind of all over the place, but this is kind of the platform on that is, I think that's kind of, we had that conversation before we went on camera about the evolution of all of us. Like when we were in our early 20s, mid 20s, we were just partying nonstop and then still doing the car thing. And then now we're like in our 30s and 40s, we're just like, we're kind of doing it for the family. Like that's why I do my stuff, is I enjoy doing it with my kids and taking them out. And
there's nothing better. I love, we cruise that Malibu, it's got a slight tint on it now, but it was a fishbowl before. And I tell you what, I put my daughter in the back seat, and I look over, and I got a whole family in a Suburban waving at me, and I'm kind of going, what the fuck you waving at? And I look back there, and my daughter's just waving. And I'm just like, that's the stuff, that they're going to remember. Like I'm going to remember as dad, because, that's the stuff I don't remember. But I got to do it with my dad, but he got to remember it.
He gets to remember.
So now the roles have changed, where the stuff I didn't know that meant so much to my dad, now it's happening to me.
Right, and we'll get a little off on here just because I do have a different relationship with you than I do with some other people. And so one of my best memories with your dad is, got a couple actually, but the best one is when I had the motorcycle and I broke down, like, dude, right out here, rolled in here, and Tom's like, get in here and fix it. Like, you let me pull my leaking ass oil for your motorcycle?
I remember we did a brake job in the driveway or something, where your shifter was malfunctioning because you're going out street racing.
Oh, we broke studs off the rear wheel. We were changing rear brakes or something, and then it broke studs off. Your dad's right out there helping us and going to Pinks all out with them. And oh my God.
Shoot, we've been, Pinks, we've done. Oh man, the mountain racing we've done actually.
Yeah, we've done Pinks all
slowed down. Yep, we did at Milan and 131. The amount of street racing we did, but once my dad died, I kind of stepped away from it because, no offense, I don't have nobody to bail me out of jail anymore.
Right. I don't have that kind of money.
Well, it was just like, I can't call my mom. That's all I have left in my life.
Right.
And I broke her heart enough when we were younger. I owe it to her not getting in trouble for at least a couple years. And after my dad died, I just kind of stepped away from street racing, but. Not saying we're going to be huge into it, but, my brother's car, I got that back together this year. And, that car, it went extremely fast before we had some issues with it. And then now we got all those issues fixed. And, for a car around here, I'm not saying any name, but, it's going to be the one, if you ain't bringing something that works on the street,
right,
and runs a number on the street, it's going to be, you're going to have a handful with it. We don't take nothing light.
Your whole family builds quality stuff.
Well, yeah, it's never saying money's never been an issue, but it's the setup is what we got OCD problems.
Yeah, you don't say.
There's something out of place around here. I know there is, but we like to do our homework. We don't go bragging about it, posting about it. We just do what we got to do, and then we hey, we're humble. We're just like anybody else, we like to win, but you got to take a win with a loss.
Right, because I've been friends with your guys' family for 20 years now, and nothing ever goes in half-assed, ever with you guys.
I'll say that because we're on camera, but I know there's issues that, we
have issues for you, ain't got issues for us.
We ain't got time, we got to get something done, whatever the case may be. I've been very fortunate, with my background and work and what, machining and stuff like that and welding, I've been lucky, I can say, but, it's just.
Because you got into machining super early too.
Right out of high school. I went through half a semester at Delta for automotive, and I remember it was a winter semester, and I remember like, hey, we got to troubleshoot wiring issues. And I remember pulling a car in, and it was like February, and I remember laying underneath the car trying to figure out a taillight wiring issue. It was just salt, and I'm like, you're going to pay me $15 an hour to do this?
Nope.
Like, no. So I quit that instantly, and my dad was a tool maker for General Motors. And I said, well, my dad makes pretty decent money at it. And I says, I can machine, at least I think I can. I said, I might as well do the same damn thing. And I went right back to school, got my journeyman card, journeyed out in 2009, and it's kind of walking the same steps. So, but now it's kind of slowing down a little bit. The overtime, it ain't there. Like I'd rather be a family man than a money man.
Something that's more important.
Yeah, you can make money any day of the week, but
can't make memories every day of the week.
Can't make money every day of the week. So that's right now with my daughter. That's the biggest thing I think is what I'm focused on.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
Being a dad.
So with that, with this car, what are your like events? Anything you're planning on this summer? Anything
We
big?
follow the Peso stuff. The Peso, he's a big promoter in the north here. Jay Peso, you follow him on Facebook. If there's a race going on, if there's big money involved, if you got a grudge race going on,
Peso's got his hands in it.
He's got his hands in everything, you know, and he can make anything happen. You got a grudge race, bone to pick, call somebody out, you know, not saying street race, but I saw today he did post that he has a $20,000 off the trailer, front side of the track, no prep race he's hosting for the first time ever. So, I mean, the front side, no prep, yeah, you can have some horsepower stuff, but his races, you know, they're all at least $5,000 to $7,000 to win. You know what I mean? And for an average blue collar guy like this, you know, it's a big chunk of money, and you can go 4 or 5 rounds and win 10 grand.
Is he doing that Lapeer, or where's he doing that?
No, everything he does is at Milan, and then I don't know. He did correlate sometimes at 131, but I don't know. You know, I don't follow that too much. But those are the 2 tracks I mainly run at. You know, is Milan at 131, then everything else is out of state.
It's a bigger shutdown area for you.
Bigger shutdown, track safety, concrete walls. I will not run a car that does not have concrete walls. You know, if you do get hurt, you know, I don't want
take everybody else with you.
Yeah, that too, and then also if something happened, you know, I don't want just a paramedic showing up with a Band-Aid box and going, you know, like yeah, a Band-Aid ain't gonna fix that bone coming out, you know, like, you know, it's just kind of you hit an age where safety kind of matters to you more, you know what I mean? Being family parents our age, you know, I want to make another day to be with my family, so that's a big thing. So that's why, like, I used to go down to those tracks, but all steel, all glass stuff, no time, we run all the no time. You want a grudge race, if we sit alike, or even if we don't sit alike, you know, but I ain't a negotiating guy. Head up, pro tree, 8th mile, track rules. I don't negotiate lengths. I don't know if you ain't a man if you're doing that stuff. You can't beat me then if you got to negotiate that stuff.
So nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed. everything since day one, my old man's always taught me. You know,
not just you. I still do the same thing.
Exactly. You know, head up. You know, head up. Whatever rules you want to stip something, that's fine. But if there's nothing else, it isn't going to appease me. If I give you 2 cars to run you down, big deal. That don't mean nothing to me. You know, if you give me 2 cars or give me the lead, no, I didn't beat you. You know, that isn't. Right. I'd take a loss and respect more than stip. You know, a stip don't mean shit to me. So, you know, and if you don't know what you're looking at, it ain't my problem. You know. Let's get it done. If not, let's not get it done.
We had that conversation about looking at your motor too earlier. It's like, if you understand it, you understand it. If you don't, you don't. For like, what can we show on the motor? Because we do know you do the grudge stuff. And we're like, what can you show? It's like, I show everything, because if you know what you're looking at, you know what you're looking at. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where it's come down to nowadays. Like, don't get me wrong. You can see a million LS turbo platforms.
Right.
Everybody says they make 1,000 horse. I'll tell you, 80% of them, you know, they're 500-600 wheel horse stuff. You know, you look at, you know, what type of turbo, and then, you know, you can look at piping and motor and cylinder head.
That's what Summit Racing said, though.
Yeah, well, that's what YouTube said too. Yeah.
Right.
Everybody builds a 1,000 horsepower motor nowadays. Yeah. But, you know, it doesn't matter. You can hide so much. Like, okay, a lot of this 484 stuff, you know, big nitro stuff. You're like, yeah, a lot of that's hidden, but you look at it, it's all prototype stuff. So it isn't off-the-shelf stuff. You know, your pocketbooks are a little bit different. Right. But for what we do, the type of grudge racing, I ain't got a huge name out there. It's well known, but, you know, I ain't that type of racer where, you know, it's pro charge big block, you know, with some, you know, on a 275. Anything more than that, I ain't gonna tell you.
Right.
So
the car's got a name too, right?
Yep. The car we call Federal Pressure.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin Gates, you know, all my cars are named after, I like Kevin Gates as a rapper, but also if you listen to the lyrics on stuff, you know, what it comes after, you know, grudge racing, you know, we're hustling for money, you know, Federal Pressure, big blower, you know, so we're making a lot of boosts, so it's kind of a correlation of the two, but also Federal Pressure, you know, it's not saying we're doing anything illegal, but we are gambling, we are doing stuff.
Right, we were halfway here. I was like, God, I should have worn my shirt.
I do have apparel for sale, you know, bad news hats and shirts and hoodies, and
that was the step into that.
All right, yeah. So, but help a broke guy out.
Right, this is not cheap. Like, everybody's so desensitized to everything making 2,500, 3,000 horsepower. You don't respect it until you see it. You get up close to something like this, and you're like, Jesus.
Yeah, well, as you said, that respect, you know, I had a second father figure in life. You know, he stepped in big, you know, Rick Laputri.
Yeah.
He's the greatest, you know, he's a great man. He's lived a great life, you know, and he's still doing good, and now he's enjoying it, which I'm happy to see. But, you know, I remember when we put the first nitrous, you know, 632 in this thing, the stock bore space, it was a real nice 632. Had two 800 horse foggers on it, and, we was making big horsepower. We were eating shit up left and right. But he told me, kid, you got to respect the beast. He goes, don't come out of that burnout box like a wild man. He goes, that's the biggest thing. Once a pass is aborted, let off. Coast that bitch down, you got to make it another pass.
Save it for another day.
Yep. And the biggest thing I always tell me, respect the beast, kid. Respect the beast.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're at with it, So the people I've had in my life get me at where I'm at now, I owe them all the credit.
Oh, dude, Rick's amazing. I grew up with him. He's known my dad forever, too, and he's an amazing dude.
If you got anything ever, if it comes through Dart Machinery, because he was in prototype division for Dart. If it comes through, anybody in the state of Michigan knows who Rick Laputri Racing Heads and Engine is. He's built me every engine I've ever owned until this one. Yeah. Because he was battling cancer. And that's the only reason that he didn't have his hands on this one. But and it's a man that you got to respect because he's he's a legend in the area.
He was even building legit like for motors for NASCAR because I ended up scoring one of the set of pistons that for my 14-to-1 motor at the house, that those came out of like a 1980s NASCAR team. Oh, he's got his hands in everything.
Oh, pro stock, he was in Top Fuel stuff. He still does, he's majority retired, but you walk in his house, you see 7 sets of Hemi heads sitting there, and you kind of go, thought you were retired. He goes, just slow down a little bit, and he's still doing, for certain people, certain things, he still stays busy, but, now it's focused on his life. He kind of got the wake-up call of, well, let's start spending this money. I ain't giving it to my kids type of thing, So he's enjoying life, and we actually just finished his car up not too long ago in here. We put all brand new wheelie bars, redid the ladder bar front end on that car, and now he's got a safe car to go out and let the button go on and go fast, hopefully.
And it's nice. It's nice watching him race. It's fun watching him race after all these years.
I tell you what, and seeing these old timers get back behind the wheel, because you think about when we were early 20s,
right?
They were, saying they're going 890s back then, in the early 2000s. And we're like, I want to be that fast one day,
Tenzin was like fast.
Tenzin was, back in the old days, Midland Street, Ron Pope, the 70 Monte Carlo.
The little 11s or something.
1180s,
1180s,
pump gas. And I tell you what, that was badass.
That was badass.
Back then, if you had an 11-second car in early 2000s, you were the king of the street. And, our goal as a kid was, we always parked in the parking lot.
What if you like that guy?
In order to park outside the parking lot on the road, you had to be fast.
Yep.
You couldn't just park on the side of the road thinking you're fast. No, you had to carry a name. Get in the parking lot,
Ironically, Laputri's old
shop was that parking lot. Yeah. So, like, hey, you sit in the parking lot, and then when you have something fast, then you can park it on the street. That was the respect back then, where you could park at.
Yeah, because even your first Nova, I remember when that thing was running like, what, 1090s? 1090s, because when you were going 1030s, I was going 1080s in the black car.
Yep, that was Pink's all the time.
Pink's all the time, yep.
But
those were good times. We can get into a whole 2-hour friggin' discussion about all that stuff, but Jesus. But yeah, dude, it's, and then we won't take up any more of your time, because we can go on and on about stories.
Oh, shoot, we go. Gosh. The friends and stories that we got together.
Oh my God, something we can't talk about.
We will not talk about.
We'll not talk about. Any socials people can follow you at?
I'm not a big social guy. I don't have a Snapchat. I'm not big into the TikTok stuff. So I guess I'm kind of showing my age now. I got Facebook, but that's about it. Facebook and Instagram. My Instagram is only for race car stuff, so
that's good enough. What is it?
It's just Bad News Racing. That's my Instagram. And my Facebook is just my name. Because like I said, I don't do it for a living. I do it for a hobby.
Yep.
Family comes first, and then hey, if I got the time, I can do something to help somebody else out.
Boy, for next year, we're going to have to get you something just so people can follow what this thing's doing, because this is one of the baddest things in the area right now.
Yeah, it is. It's got a name for itself. If you go on YouTube and type in, anything, from the Peso events and stuff like that,
it's got pictures of Federal Pressure.
It's got pictures and videos. And I don't even post this stuff, but there's millions and millions of views on people, that take my videos and they make TikToks and they do, all that stuff. And I just kind of laugh and, look at it and say, it's cool, But, I don't do none of that stuff. But, if you've been on the car scene, I guess, on social media,
you know who you are.
You've seen the car.
You've seen the car.
You've seen the car.
You are. Yeah. Especially in the area. That's at this point, you're just a legendary name.
No,
you ever heard of Kyle Anderson's? Yeah, timer 3.
Good or bad? Yeah.
Right.
Probably both. Yeah.
So which way is the story going to go? Because I like to walk away from this.
Yes.
But all right, sir. Well, thank you for sitting down with us today. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure. And that's it.